Grant Walmsley.
Rock on.
JetsPlayJets back at you.
Yeah.
For another adventure. That's a Metallica car.
That was a great adventure, the Metallica. It just brings back memories of us being on the tour bus in America and in Europe.
Vivid, yeah. So that was from the Black album, None Blacker.
So yeah, that's right. It had the whole Spinal Tap.
It was None Blacker.
Spinal Tap thing.
Look, a great album. I would say. Look, I love Metallica. I'm a Metallica fan. I wasn't a Metallica. Not that I wasn't a fan. I wasn't really aware of Metallica till And Justice for All with one. One just blew my mind. Like, fuck, who's this? This is epic. Yeah. I love that. That was about 88, I think we were saying earlier. I remember they were doing like Horden Pavilion in Sydney around 88, 89, and Justice for All tour.
The Justice for All. See, I got into Masters of the Puppets.
I know, you were into them earlier, yeah.
Yeah, I see. It was one of those ones that I think I was in Charlestown Square, looking at albums.
Yeah.
When I was young, going through the whole thing and picked up, and there's this album with all these crosses on there with like these puppet fingers and everything like that. And Metallica, I go, oh, well, I'll listen to this.
Yeah.
And you remember you could land to it on the headphones.
That's right.
It came on. I'm buying this straight away. And then I was into it.
Yeah.
And I was like Metallica all the way through.
Yeah, so they were certainly not mainstream in Australia in the 80s.
No.
I'd heard of them, but that was it. But I imagine I wasn't really a metal guy.
Well, look, if you like all my mates that I used to hang out with quite metal. I mean, if you had, obviously Megadeth, Dave Mustaine, and it's all the same. They were all intertwined.
Yeah, he was a metal guy.
So if you had that and you had Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and then you sort of kind of getting into Slayer and stuff like that. Then Metallica were they were the kings of that whole thing. They really went off.
And I dig all those bands. It's funny looking back, even like you say Slayer. It's like they're so. And it's funny.
They had some great songs.
They did.
There's no doubt.
It's funny. What was the singer's name?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But he's Christian. He was always Christian.
Oh.
And I just thought it was funny. Like I remember being in a convenience store once, and Kerry King came in. Yeah. It was like 10 in the morning. Everyone's on tour. And I remember this guy walking in, and he was like, so he's going to tear someone's fucking head off. Just have a say, "Can I have a coffee?" And I was like, man, just fucking relax, dude. He wasn't relaxed. He was pretty intense guy. That was funny. I remember that. But anyway, we got some great Metallica stories. Okay, so obviously, you guys know your Metallica history more than I do. From my perspective, I would say the Black Album, and this sort of goes hand in hand with there's a lot of knockers. Oh no, they've gone soft, blah blah blah.
No. If anything, they went heavier.
I thought it was fucking brutally heavy. And
it was very brutally.
I remember Kurt.
It was just because they had
saying, "You don't think it's heavy? Listen to Sad But True." And I go, "Yeah, fucking listen to that song. It's just like, yeah."
It's just that it became they entered the more of the melody. Chorusy.
You know what it was? Do you know what it was to me? To me, it was. I'll draw an analogy here. And Justice for All was AC/DC's Highway to Hell. The Black Album was AC/DC's Back in Black.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, and Justice for All was a big shift for them as well.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yep.
And then the Black Album went polished. And to me, didn't soften it.
They went from full only pretty much the metal crowd to
everyone. That's right. As AC/DC did. It was a niche, and then it just went, now we're accessible to everyone.
That's right. And I don't think it was less heavy.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think the songs weren't 12 minutes, they were now 4 minutes.
That's right. Cool. See, there you go.
Because I don't want to... no, it's not that.
There's probably only about 5 songs on Master of the Puppets.
So this is what I would say. I would say that the Black Album, I'd probably put that up there with Nevermind by Nirvana.
It's got to be. It's got to be right up there. One of the biggest.
Those albums that changed the world. It changed the fucking world.
Same appetite.
Now, I remember we were living in London when the Black Album came out. I remember the first time I heard NSM, man. The first time I was just like, oh, fuck.
It's just.
Fuck.
And I remember that we used to get these. What was the bus that we got the first one? I think it was like Iron Maiden's old bus or something.
Yeah. We had a double decker that was an Iron Maiden bus, and we had another one that was Johnny Winter actually used to tour.
Yeah, but they always had these filthy, like these great, like a car stereo system.
Yeah, right through the bus.
It goes through the whole bus. So we used to like have it cranked up so loud. I think we got done for it once, you know.
Look, I'll tell you a great story. I was sitting in the bus. So there's a sleeper coach. So we live on the buses.
Huge buses, like Sid Fox's big ones.
Yeah, like big 12 bunks in the middle, and you got your kitchen and your lounge rooms either end. You know, pretty cool, pretty wild times. Sounds great. I'll tell you what, you get a month or a year on them, and
you get claustrophobic.
It's starting to go a bit fucking crazy. And it was one of those buses that Cliff Burton actually died in. So you know, it's you live on a bus, you know. But yeah, okay. So I remember I was we were in Amsterdam, and the bus was parked, and I reckon it was like 10 or 11 in the morning, and so we had the Black Album on CD, and we could listen to it all the time, and I had it fucking cranking, like, you know, the start of NSM, man, and I just rolled this big scoop, as you do, and I was sitting I remember sitting in the bus driver's seat. We got this big long scoop. There was that black slate that you used to get over there.
Oh God!
And I get this fucking boom, 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 and fuck, and there's these cops there, and I'm like, oh, and they're like, turn the music down.
I know. It's...
So I'm turning it down. Don't worry.
Yeah, I wouldn't have cared about that. They were more worried about music. Yeah,
that was okay to do that. It was medicinal purposes, and I didn't inhale, just like Bill Clinton.
Yes.
It was just a prop. But okay, so look, that song just changed the world, right? And we were really lucky. We saw Metallica a bit through Europe.
Yeah.
On that tour. There was a gig we were trying to find. It was in '91. That was some outdoor gig in England. You might be able to tell us where it was, someone.
Bristol? I don't know.
It was big part. It was like, 10,000 freaks everywhere. And
so I thought I always thought it was Donington. Donington does that big one.
I don't think it was Donington, but it was another. Yeah, let us know, will you? Someone will know. About 91. And it was a daytime gig. And it was funny. It was funny watching metal. I think Slayer might have been on that bill.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was funny watching.
Ozzy would have been on there too.
Watching metal bands in the daytime. I thought that was pretty funny. But Metallica had lights and that, and so it sort of, even though it was daytime, it was full on. But there was another time, it was probably just a month or two after that. I remember we hadn't seen a hotel room for fucking 6 months or something, and I actually remember sharing a room with you in Paris.
Oh, yes.
And I remember everyone was really excited. Oh, we're going to go to the Eiffel Tower and do this. And Richie and I slept for fucking about 2 or 3 days. Like, I remember we were fucked.
Hey.
And we slept, and then we knew that, like, on a certain day they were going to come out, and the record company's going to take us out for the day. And they gave us a choice. They said, you can go to the Louvre, or we've got Monsters of Rock.
No, all right. So we went to the Monsters of Rock.
We said, well, fuck, we'll go and see Monsters of Rock. So it's AC/DC, Metallica, Queensryche.
Yeah, we played that night, I think.
I think we did, in Paris. We played that night.
At this little
And I'm pretty sure Lars and everyone were at the place. Because we're on the same label. That's what I meant to say earlier. We're on the same label.
Yeah.
Which was like a Polygram and...
Polydor.
It was one of the Polys. They were bought out by someone else. As they do. Probably. But we're on the same label. I think that's why we had the CD earlier than anyone else and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've I remember it was a really great day. There was about 80,000 mad Parisians. And so you had AC/DC. Now, I guess at that time, they were like doing Razor's Edge.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They were.
And you've got to understand, too, that AC/DC in 1991, they're still AC/DC, but they weren't in vogue. They weren't the fucking be-all, end-all at that point. They sort of, it flattened out a bit.
It did flatten out.
And then grunge really flattened them out.
Yeah.
And then obviously it all came back. So you got to understand the times that, you know, everyone was giving Metallica a run for their money, AC/DC a run for their money, so to speak, you know.
You know, I did enjoy that Metallica gig only because they were on only for, I think, 25 minutes, maybe half an hour. Yeah, they were all,
Maybe 40.
Maybe 40. It was a great thing because Lars didn't have his drum solo in there. So it was just...
That's why. It was an hour and a half set and went to 40 with it.
Yeah, so it was just 40 minutes of just like intense Metallica, you know, and there was... Man, there was people doing like backflips and stuff like into crowds. I don't know. It was just bizarre.
Okay, so that bill was, and I think we got there a little bit later in the day, but and I remember up on the hill, we had this VIP section on the hill, and we looked over this whole thing, and beautiful day in Paris. It was like a fucking really lovely summer's day, and I noticed I'm dropping more F-bombs as the episodes continue.
Really?
How tardy.
Hardly noticed.
So there was, I think it was Black Crowes, Motley Crue,
Queensryche,
who were over Motley Crue. Like, they were quite big in Europe then.
They were.
Yeah. And then you had Metallica and you had AC/DC. So I remember a couple of things that day. It was really exciting. It was a really great day. And we got, you know, really looked after, blah, blah, blah. I remember someone told me this, that in Paris you could literally piss in the, you could sort of piss in the gutters.
Oh look, and I thought it stunk.
And it was, and I remember like chicks.
There's parts of Paris was like
just fuck, this is
no,
weird.
All weird.
So at a festival, it was a bit loose, but. No judgment.
That's, you know, that was in Paris. It was like the first time that we got taken to a really like fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there, like I'm talking white table,
I remember
the whole thing, and absolutely round, those classic ones, you know, round tables, big ceilings, the whole chandelier scenario going.
Because every city we went to in Europe and the States, the record company would take us out for a big meal at some point. Yeah.
Well, they took us out this, and there I am. So we've got like big steaks and everything like that, and hooking into it. Looking up, there's a fucking dog.
Yeah, that's right. I remember this. Yeah,
like those poodles.
Yeah.
A big bastard. Sitting...
big bastard poodle.
Big bastard poodle sitting there perfectly, with, like this, with a better meal than we had.
Right. So dogs were allowed in restaurants there. And you'd see people, like, literally feeding their dogs, and it was pretty weird. I remember seeing the escargot and the frog's legs there. I wouldn't go the snails.
Oh, I love the snails.
I remember you tried them.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no.
Snails.
What do they taste like?
Like buttered gollies. They're beautiful.
Buttered gollies. I was going to say like a buttered slug. I've never done it. I couldn't do it.
Oh, no, they're better than that.
And I didn't get the frog's legs either.
The frog's legs were good too.
It was pretty chicken.
No, it was chickeny, yes.
Like a chicken wing.
Oh, yeah, they were very nibbly. They were very dry, I thought. Yeah. But everything was in butter. Everything was just
butter.
It was just butter.
I remember the baguettes there were great.
And we used to use them as cricket balls. Because after 2 days...
On the bus?
Anyway, because after it, mate, they'd give you a baguette of everything. It's like, can I get a pack of cigarettes? And you get a pack of cigarettes and 2 baguettes.
Everyone smoked there.
Everyone smoked, and everyone ate baguettes. But they would only last... If you didn't have it in a day or two, they'd become rock hard.
Oh, and I remember too, it was all francs back then. There was no euro. And the francs were a really weird currency. We call them all shitters because every country around is a different currency. So, you know, we got, how much is that? 10 shitters. It was just the currency. But their shitters were like, that's 80,000 shitters.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How do we work this out?
No, you couldn't work it out.
So thank God for the euro.
That's right.
I remember that.
They take your pounds though, bastards.
Yeah. And the other thing we found out too is that they, especially in Paris, they hated people that didn't try and speak French. They just, even if they spoke English, they'd just go...
And we had to always say, oh, no, we're Australian.
Yeah.
Always.
Didn't like pommies, did they?
No, didn't like pommies and didn't like Americans. So if you're American? No.
Yeah. That often got us out of trouble being Australian.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, in lots of places.
Yeah.
Oh, especially in Alabama, deep south.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, I remember we toured with Eric Gale's band. So Eric Gale's one of the finest guitar players ever, black band. And I remember they wouldn't fucking speak to us for a week or two. And then they found out we're Australian.
Yep.
Next day we told them, yo, JetsPlayJets in the house. Yeah, we're brothers. You know?
They just didn't like the white boys. But then again, we'd lob up. And I liked in the bus also, like we would, especially in America, whatever town we went to, we'd have watch a movie about it. Like
yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like if we went to go in Washington or something like that, we'd watch the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, that's right. Or when we went to San Antonio, we watched the Alamo. When we went to Mississippi, we watched Mississippi Burning. Yeah.
And now we've just come off the bus.
Yeah, so we're watching KKK movies when we were down through Alabama and all these places.
Right, yeah, pretty serious stuff, like, obviously more documentary sort of, I don't know what they were, but just to get the lay of the thing. But yeah, I mean, I remember getting off and we were just going to, I don't even think we were looked at for a while, being white people, to get a coffee and a I don't know, a pumpkin pie or something, whatever, if I can have them. And we were barely served until they found out we were Australian and had a bit of a novelty.
Yeah.
But yeah, the black couple behind us, that pulled up in their car, they got back in their car. And
I remember that. I remember that. I saw that a couple of times, actually, black people not served.
Not served.
Yeah. I think that was around Alabama or something like that.
This is 91.
Yeah, this is 91. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, and I remember like being in Hollywood too. At the same time. And I remember this one day I went into this joint and I'm getting a cheeseburger or something, and there was this one other guy. Shot was a black guy. I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" And he looked at me like he wanted to fucking kill me. So it was like that reverse racism, and no judgment, but it was like, oh wow. But when you see the history in that, like there's certainly that, for some of the whites and the blacks, it's like, fuck, the things that the blacks have been through in that country, like, it's no wonder that their initial reaction is...
There's always stand-up.
Yeah.
It's definitely, probably, it'd be different now, not too much overly, but LA, different again. The gang land isn't as much heavy there as it used to be, so...
I remember when we were there, you put the news on and there was drive-by shooting every day.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's got their fucking Uzi out through his nose. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day people shot, killed. But anyway, crazy stuff. And
didn't go to their lockdown for that one.
No. Well, we were there. we just got out of there before the Rodney King thing, the LA riots.
Yes.
So we were lucky to just miss that because that was frightening. That was, people thought that was just going to go right through the country. Going to
feel the energy.
Feel it, yeah. And we were brothers. The black people didn't know. We were brothers. We're like, we're going to Ice T gigs and body count gigs.
Yeah. Oh God.
And you know what? We're
down in Crompton.
Yeah. We went to this body count gig and it was Prince actually owned the club. And you remember going there and I was with Ernie C, like the guitar player, and he produced Ozzy and all that, and I remember you got to go through like airport security.
Airport security.
There were white people there.
What about the Amazonian women?
There's like 7 feet women that are like, they look like wrestling women now.
Yeah, they were wrestling.
And they look like on the balls of crotch, full fresh, like fucking heavy too. Nothing nice about it.
No. Well, there's a sign walking in. The sign walking in. All guns and knives can be checked in at the cloaking room. And baseball bats.
And so I remember body count coming out.
I remember body count coming out. The first two came out.
2 guys on the stage with shotguns. And remember Dougie had guitar tech Dougie McClellan, and we're somewhere we knew every word, every song, and and Dougie was like fucking right to the front. Me
and Dougie were right up front.
What a great night! That was amazing that night.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Metallica.
Jesus.
So I remember this in Paris. But go back to Monsters of Rock in Paris, 91. It was going off. Like there's probably 80,000 people there. It was big. It was a big one.
Yeah.
And it was daytime. And I remember when like the build up towards Metallica. I remember saying, I'm going to try and get down as far as I can down the front.
Yeah. You couldn't
have got 500 metres.
Yeah, no.
It was impenetrable.
Yeah, it was.
Right? It was that squashed up. And I never forget, and it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen a live gig was dong, 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 and there's 80,000 people just like that.
Bouncing.
The fucking power and the energy in that was just unbelievable. And they were incredible. They were fucking incredible. They were really good. And it was the time, you know, Lars had the big white kit and they got hair around it. It's all black and white show. And it was amazing. And I just remember going, how the fuck does anyone go on after that? And literally AC/DC walked on stage and just fucking wiped them all off.
Wiped everyone.
Didn't they?
Yeah,
like, oh, fuck.
There's Akadaka.
They're the kings.
They are. They truly are.
They were amazing.
Yeah.
Akadaka amazing. So I've seen Metallica quite a lot, actually. I saw him in New York with my mate Kevin Shirley. He was who was he working on there? He was on the Aerosmith 9 Lives album at the time, and he'd just done the Journey album with Steve Perry. Like he did that album, whatever that was. He does all the Joe Bonamassa and the Dream Theater, and he does all the Iron Maiden stuff now too. So Kevin's an old mate of ours that we met in Newcastle when I was like 15. It was really fucked up. He's like the #1 producer in the world now. He does Led Zeppelin. You know, it's massive.
Yeah.
So I remember he spoiled us this night, and he said, "I'll come to the studio at whatever time, blah blah blah." And it was snowing, and
New York is snowing. But
so he's hired a fucking. I think I was going home or something the next day or two, and he hired a limo. So this Cadillac limo's pulled up, and I was waiting for him to finish work. And I used to say to Kevin, like, I wait for him to finish work, we get something to eat, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh wow, okay, cool, fuck man, where are we going? I said, oh man, it's a surprise now. Get in the limo, and there's vodka. I remember drinking Stoli and Jack Daniels.
Ooh,
and there's plates of sushi and sashimi, and it was really good shit. Like he just went all out. And we're driving along, and I'm like, what are we doing? And he pulls out these all-access passes to Metallica at Meadowlands.
Oh, it's just like...
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding, man? Unreal. So we go to Meadowlands.
I'll do Wayne World.
Yeah, it was insane. It was like that, right? So we pulled up in the car park, and it was a classic thing when you turn up to an American concert and you're in the car park, and you see this. People get there like 4 hours early, and they set their cooler up and their barbecue, and they're making hot dogs, and you know what I mean? And they got their big SUV that's as fucking big as truck, and it was like, and they got them, and everyone's like right in the vibe, you know? So we're in the limo, and, you know, it's just...
eating sashimi?
Yeah, eating sashimi, drinking. We're pretty pissed, I think, by this time. And it was actually... the worst time I've ever seen Metallica. So it was when they did the Snake Pit thing.
Oh yeah.
And I was right in it. We just went right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But it was a bit. So this is after, I don't know what this was like, after a year or two after Black Album, I guess. And you could tell that they were doing drugs, and it was loose. And it was loose. There was things going down, and they're looking at each other, and they're hating each other, and because you're that close, going, oh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad. Like, it was bad.
Oh no.
And I was really disappointed. I really couldn't believe the lack of professionalism.
Were they in the middle? Is that when they were in the middle?
Yes, yeah. And you could get in the middle of the stage and all that sort of stuff. So it was like, it was funny because, look, it was a great spectacle. Have we ever done a gig where we probably weren't in a reasonable state? Yes, many, many. So no chance.
Both, anything.
But I just, it was quite a surprise. I expected it to be, because I'd seen it before, and I thought, fucking great. Yeah. So I was really disappointed. So then about, maybe 2 or 3 years later, when they did Fuel, I saw them at Newcastle Entertainment Centre. And that might have been the best I've ever seen them. They were fucking amazing. And that was, so this is all Jason Newsted material. They were so good. So good, yeah.
You can probably get a bit loose in New York while you're there, I don't know.
I think reading on it, they were starting to get into, you know, I think there's pills and coke and all that sort of thing. Yeah, and you could tell they were like, it had gone weird. So anyway, look, we've all seen the Some Kind of Monster. We've seen the making of the Black Album. So going back to the Black Album, so to me it was like, I mentioned before, it was like Back in Black for AC/DC. So they got a producer in, so it's Bob Rock, who really cut the fat off and really made it a well-tuned machine sonically as well as content.
And as you said, you know, they bring the songs from 12 minutes down to 4.
Yeah.
It's a bit more commercial.
Yeah.
more songs on an album.
You see them making the Black Album too, and Bob Rock was making great records then. There's no doubt about it. He just done Dr. Feelgood for Motley Crue, and apparently the story goes Metallica are like, how are Motley Crue the biggest? What the fuck?
Yeah,
we're better than blah blah. Who have they got? So they got Bob Rock.
Yeah.
And it was like it's a real lesson in the way great records were made then. You know, they'd get the drum track. They'd cut tape to make the drum track right. Like,
Yep.
They could use 3 different takes and make one take out of the best parts. And that's something in the old days where they'd actually cut tape and put it together. And our mate Kevin Shirley, he was great with that. I remember Joe Perry from Aerosmith said he'd never seen anyone with a razor blade like Kevin. Like he'd make tracks really sit, really work.
It's such an art that was back then.
Yeah, so it's like cut and paste on the Pro Tools. Now this was actually cut and paste tape. You'd actually cut it. And so you look at them making the Black Album, they did a lot of that. And then it was the first time I think that they'd overdubbed guitars. And
they really got the drums right too.
And we did a lot. We made records like this. Like we'd put guides down, but then we'd get a perfect sound.
Yes.
There was not one blemish.
No.
The tone was right. The playing was right. And you do it until it was like that. The mics were right. The amps were right.
Everything was.
And so you see their process, and they go through that. And and I think
like for instance, like you'd have your amp on for like 3 hours prior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just get it warmed up.
Everything, the temperature's right.
The right tone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see the meticulous operation on it, and you can see in the making of that it really frustrated the band because they just wanted to go out and play live. It's like, no, it's not how you make records.
No.
And I remember, I still say this to people, so making records is not playing live. It's a completely different animal.
Yes.
Make a great record and more people will listen to it. And that was, I don't know, that's what their motto was. And then you hear the final result after about a year and you go, there you go, there's a fucking record, And
it still stands the test of time, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And so that was about a year after, like, Pump. Yes. Aerosmith. It was about a year after Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah, that did well as well.
What else was going around then?
Ooh.
So this is pre-Nirvana.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's funny though, like through the grunge period, Metallica, they maintained their course. They didn't get, torn apart. Where Motley Crue did, Bon Jovi did, AC/DC kind of did. It just, but Metallica didn't. They
could still go back into their own world of metal. Metal is its own world. Yeah. It still is, and it's you're always going to get a fan base there, like anything else. But it's where the pop fan base won't be as loyal. Yeah. The
Metallica's not moving.
Well, yeah, but the metal fan base, they'll always be very loyal to, especially the roots.
As we've seen that now with the Iron Maiden tours and that, they're still the biggest tours in the world. I remember Lars, who everyone loves to hate, but he's
a clever man.
He couldn't have Metallica without him. He really brought that European flavour to it as well, which I really like because you get James Hetfield, who's a real redneck kind of vibe to the band, which is great. No judgment, just is what it is. Yeah. Where Lars, I think, really brought that depth of the European metal to what they're doing.
That's right.
So I remember Lars saying, they want a Grammy or something. He said, I would like to thank MTV, I would like to thank, blah, 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 thank blah, 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 thank blah, blah, blah. And without you, this was all fucking possible anyway. I remember, and it was true. It was kind of, they didn't need any of that.
No, they didn't.
Which you've really got to respect.
The fan base was there. They worked hard. There's no doubt about it. To get to that level, as we've said this before in different episodes, you get to a level of, and it's so professional, and it's so everything runs smooth like a well-oiled machine. You can't stop it. It's like a ball rolling, you know. And people can fly off the thing, as they normally do. But once you get that fan base, once you get that, good, solid, you know that the crowd is going to show up because they're guaranteed of a good show, and they're always going to come back. So that's something that you want to concentrate on.
I'm a big James Hetfield fan. He's my favourite guy in the band. He's just phenomenal. He's one of the most underestimated guitar players.
Oh, he's a great guitar player.
He's a fucking great guitar player.
Great guitar.
To me, he's guitars on that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk is a great player.
And he plays with the widdly diddly and all that shit, and that's fucking cool. There's no doubt about it. But James is the guy that holds that down. I just think he's like Malcolm. He's like Keith. But he can fucking play. And it doesn't look like he's doing much.
It doesn't look like he's doing much, but he's actually doing a lot of the solos.
He's doing a lot, and he's singing too. He's real good. He's a real good player.
There's no doubt about it.
He's a real cool cat too. It's going from that to some kind of monster. It's funny. He talks about he went to rehab and all that. And it's just funny. The funniest thing on that movie where he goes, my daughter's doing this ballet concert and I went to Siberia and was drinking vodka and shooting fucking bears. So anyway, it was good to see that. It's funny, they're a surviving band too. You got to look at that. And Rob Trujillo, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I saw him with Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah.
And he was like, I remember him blowing me away then. And I just think he's the greatest injection of that band. I saw them a couple of years ago on Death Magnetic, and they were fucking awesome. It was a couple of years, 10 years ago. God, that's gone fast.
He played with Chili Peppers and everything.
He could fucking play, that guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a Metallica story.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
I loved that. Very good.
So we'll see you all next time. We're going to go and do some more fishing.
Yes.
And
make sure you subscribe. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Thanks for helping us out here. Listen to our stuff. Listen to our talking. It's very, very good. We love it. We love it every day. We're just talking about it going, this is a great thing to do,
And we have a coffee. We have our own mugs on our mug.
And it's all very good. Rock on, everyone.
Till next time. It's so dramatic.
It's so cool. Rock on, everyone.
See you.